Good morning and happy Sunday. How is everybody doing? My laptop's got sand on it, which I'm sure is not good for it. So today I want to talk about the 3-day fasting extravaganza. The retreat's actually over 4 days. You arrive on the Sunday afternoon and we'll have a meal. And then we will start fasting from there all the way through. And then we'll have another meal on the Thursday before we, actually probably on the Wednesday night, so it'll be 3 full days. And then you'll leave on the Thursday. Now, the inspiration for this retreat came from the last 3-day fast that we did. And when we started fasting and then doing breath work, just the result that you got was exponential. So I thought, and also I know a lot of people have messaged me and said that they could do the support while they're fasting because it can be, it can be difficult to do it on your own, especially if you've got young kids, whatever. So the time frame is going to be from the Sunday afternoon until the Thursday. And during that time, so we've got Vida B, who is, she's running a tantric retreat at Barmoloch from the Friday to the Sunday. So that's why I thought, well, I'll get in when she's there because we're going to do a day on the Monday of family constellations. So if you can imagine the cells in the body carrying all this information, okay? And what we're always looking to do is remove outdated information, limiting beliefs, doubt, procrastination, etc., any traumas from the past. We want to release that. And on this retreat, we're going to be teaching you quite a lot of things. You might have to take some rest out, but it's going to be packed with things to do so that you're not thinking about eating. And when we look at the physical, so if you imagine the cells are like this and maybe a bit heavy and filled with the past and information that's not particularly helpful for the immune system, what can happen is the immune system gets weighed down. And so what we're always striving to do is to give, the body knows how to heal itself. All we have to do is get out the way. And if you understand that 80% of your daily energy goes on digesting your food, yeah, that's right, it's a huge amount of your daily energy goes in digesting your food. And that's if you're actually eating real food and chewing it properly and cooking it or not cooking it properly. So when you take food out, you get that 80% energy, you get it back. You give it back to the body. So it means that there's a lot of repair and restoration, and the stats around how fasting helps you to heal, even intermittent fasting, and even fasting mimicking diet, FMD. The body will go into repair mode, restore. It goes into autophagy, which basically simply means that it'll start to burn up the crap first, getting ready for this fast, which used to be a kind of natural cycle as we worked with the seasons, and there maybe wasn't the abundance of food around. So the body will self-heal. So know that. You don't need to know or do anything. You just need to stop putting a lot of crap in the body. So on the Monday, we're going to be doing the family constellations. Now, if you don't know anything about family constellations and my incredible friend Vida, it's about ancestral trauma and using very, very simple techniques to unravel our ancestral garbage, as I call it. Because we've all got stuff in the familial line, that can be emotional stuff, it can be abuse, it can be dis-ease, we can definitely be more prone. I met somebody yesterday that was telling me 4 members of her family got CLL, chronic lymphatic leukemia. Yeah, that's a significant, you would have to say there's something going on there. So we need to understand that, the DNA, fascinating information that's coming out, and how we're born in with information. Now, whether you believe you chose this lifetime or not is irrelevant. Whether I believe if we can really fully focus that we chose to be here, we chose this body, we chose this family, and I fully accept that's easier for some people to do, well, that takes us completely out of victim consciousness. And a lot of the new story, which Vida will be doing, we have to move from the victim perpetrator. And that's not to say that people have played that role, because they have. There's a lot of assholes out there, as we know. But in order for us to fully heal, we have to move out that mode and leave the past behind and move into solution. So that's where we're going to be going. So the Monday will be all about letting go of all of that. We'll also be doing inner dance. If you've not experienced inner dance before, you will get to feel the magic of the music and how you can basically just lie there and absorb these frequencies, these sounds, which can be discordant. I'm really looking forward. I missed one of Sabrina's last soundscapes because I was preparing the dinner, but she put some Scottish music in. I mean, she's just fantastic the way she creates the music, and how the frequency and the sound of the music helps you to release trauma. Now, I've never had a negative experience, i.e., is that true actually? Yeah, I think I have. I've always come out feeling very relaxed, and that's not always everybody's experience. It can bring up pain from the past, but that's what we want. We want to get that stuff out. And it's going to be a very protected and beautiful environment to really clean the toilet. You know, you get the scrubbing brush in and you just go, let's get all that stuff that I've been kidding on wasn't there, that I've been hiding. We just get it all out. And obviously, again, going back to taking food out, that can make people very crabby as we go into what can be a detox process. And I'm going to be talking to the people that are coming on the retreat. I'll be talking to you about how to minimise feeling crap before you arrive. And if you're coming on the 2 retreats, because Vida and I have put, you save £50 if you do the 2 of them together, then you're going to be having loads of good food through the body anyway. It's not going to be nearly as challenging. And if you're not coming on Vida's retreat, then it's wise to really clean your diet up for a good week beforehand, intermittent fast, and be ready. Prepare yourself mentally and physically for healing. So that's family constellations, looking at the family systems. It's all about the systems, and you'll learn so much from Vida. How the way she explained it to me was, say our whole system's like a jigsaw, and if one piece gets taken out for whatever reason, maybe they die suddenly or too young, or in a tragic way, maybe they get shunned because of their behaviour, sexual abuse, etc., then that affects the entire system. Even if we consciously are not aware of that, the whole system is affected, and it means that people can be unconsciously looking the other way to get what they felt they need or what they didn't need. So what happens with family constellations is that the piece gets put back in. Now, that's not to say you've got to let evil people back into your life or be around people that have hurt you, but it's about understanding that these systems are there for a reason, and that when we can make them whole again, we heal. And that's really what this is all about. And obviously the stuff I teach is all about unhooking your wee talons from the past and the stories and the labels and the concepts, unhooking from that so that your cells can float in this field that we call gravity without being tormented and without that constant putting yourself into gear and tiring yourself out. So that'll be the Monday, and we'll do some breath work, and obviously you'll be able to go into the river. The river will be nice and warm by then, but it's just beautiful down there. You can really wash away. There's something really nice excuse me, about going into a river because the water's moving. And, if you really can utilise the 5 elements. I mean, what we're about at Heal Scotland and Wild Medicine is reconnecting to nature, to charge your batteries, to let go of the past, and to allow the magnificent resonance that comes from the planet and everything on it to help the body to recalibrate and rebalance. So the river's a big part of that. And even if you've not done any cold water exposure before, it's a brilliant opportunity for you to try. It's not for everybody, but it is a very powerful free tool. And you kind of forget, in my world, because so many people do it, you kind of forget the magic that it gives to people that have never actually tried it. So that we'll be doing breath work every morning. Now, day 2, I'm not going to lay the programme out. I just want to tell you what the content's going to be so that you can make a decision as to whether you want to come or not. So we're going to be doing a lot of different breath works. Now, not just all kind of Wim Hof type power breathing. We're going to be really, really focusing into the diaphragm and the heart and the throat and the head to really get you fully competent on how you're breathing and what result you want to get. It's I keep saying it's not rocket science. Everybody wants to make their breath work special because then you'll pay them money to do it. But it's breathing, and we can all learn to breathe slightly differently, longer in, longer out, holding the breath here, holding the breath there, and start to really experiment with your own body. Because what might work for me or what I really enjoy might be completely different for you. So I want you to be able to go home with a really tailored breath work for you. Now, everybody that knows me knows I'm a huge Wim Hof fan. And I can tell you, when we were at the festival in Skye, the festival in Tarbert as well, yes, but what happened at the festival in Skye I've never seen happen before. We did 6 rounds of breath work, and there was 4 of us at the front that just basically, I can only say, had a massive spiritual experience. Somebody even wrote to one of the Wim Hof instructors to say that they'd seen God. Now, I just know that when we kind of came out of the breath work, it was like, wow. And I looked at my friend Elsa and another woman and we were just kind of like, what happened there? Now, I do tons of breath work every day. I've been in that beach trying to get into this layer day and the food poisoning. I can never get that back. It's got to be the power of the group that gets you that. So we're going to have the power of the group, the breathing together. And the people coming together when you come in a retreat, any retreat, whether it's the fasting one, whether it's Scotland's Wild Medicine, everybody's getting drawn in from different areas because they're all in that frequency. And if you turn up at any retreat, it means you've got a willingness to participate. But when you do it as a team, as a tribe, as a group, as your own wee community, and everybody wants the best, so we have that collective intention. And you've heard me talking about this before. We create a power grid, which means that you're going to get an exponentially more powerful experience. And that happened to us in Skye. Now, I'm only talking for the few people that were beside me that I've actually spoken to personally. Because when things like that happen, very often you don't want to talk about it, quite honestly, because it's very difficult to explain to somebody what actually happened there. But it was incredible. And what happens, obviously, when you go into that expanded state is you start to really, really experience that we're much, much more than just the body, and we are wave as well as particle, and we are energy and frequency. And I'm working on my new book. I thought I was going to call it Wild Invisible Medicine, but I came up with another title yesterday. It's gone for the moment, but it's been great doing all the research on frequencies and the frequencies that we can hear and the frequencies we can see and the frequencies and the notes of the energy system. The root chakra, the key of C is the colour red, and the minerals that go along with that. So I'm going to be bringing this into the retreat. You're really going to learn about how these energy centers, because we have this auric field, which most people can't see. I can't see it, although I'm definitely starting to, at that retreat at Inner Dance, I could see the interconnection with a lot of people, and I was seeing the auras. That room allows, the lighting in the room really allows for that. So we're going to be working on this at this retreat so that you can start to understand the key of C, the colour red, and what organs does that affect. So if you are experiencing disease, and we're living on this poisoned planet, they've bloody well poisoned everything. So we need to make sure that our kidneys and our liver are getting well washed, and how we can make sure that the organs underneath these energy centers, using sounds and using soundscapes and using our voice, we're going to be humming and chanting and really moving into this energy field. We'll be having very bespoke sound healing, sound baths, where I'll be digitally delivering this incredible technology into your cells, where you can have all the herbs, all the aromatherapies, and all the amino acids, etc., that you're going to need, that the body can just take or leave. And what's great about delivering that stuff on the frequency level and sound is that the body can take it or not. You can't overdose. There absolutely no harm can be done with this stuff. Only good stuff. And then it's really a case of us being willing to allow this healing to happen, and that's another big thing that we're talking about. So if you're in a contracted state of fear, or in an expanded state of unconditional love, or in this neutral state where energy can flow, where truth hangs out, not your truth, the actual truth, then this information, the body can literally recalibrate back into these frequencies. And energy medicine, this is where it's at. You know, I've been on the bioresonance machine all week as well, looking at the different frequencies of different parasites and bacteria and worms, etc., as well as delivering, you know, the hydration and the oils and the herbs and the plants digitally. We can even microdose with frequencies. We're moving into a whole new world of very, very exciting possibilities and potential that will do no harm. And I think most people understand, if you have to get an operation or you have to get treatments, they can really harm the body, and it can take you a long time to really get back to full health. Like my brother, after the vaccines, you know, he's only really 3 years later starting to, he's still far from the man he was, but he's getting better. It's taken a lot of time. So that we can find treatments that do no harm, we're onto something. So that's day 2 of the using the voice, humming, sound, shapes, sacred geometry, because this is, we can utilize our yi. Remember, the body follows the mind. So when we're thinking about things that are going to harm the body, what we're realizing now is we're changing our own chemistry by thinking about the wrong things. And we're changing our electromagnetic field, the amount of electricity and magnetism running through the body. So when we can actually start to think in shapes and basically shapes and words, if you want, whatever it you find easiest, you can really send new helpful information through the body. So we're going to be working on your energy field. And again, I want you to go home equipped to heal yourself, so that if ever anything was to go wrong with the body, you know exactly what to do. And fasting is a very, very powerful way to help you heal. And it doesn't matter what's wrong with you. So, and also how you would fast. We'll talk a lot about that in terms of what age are you? Are you menopausal? Are you still having periods? Are you trying to get pregnant? Have you endometriosis, which is like a pandemic as well? All the things, the best way for you to fast to get the best results, because it can change. And we always need to be aware of that. So that'll be I'm saying day 2, but that might be partly day 2 and partly day 3. Then obviously letting go. So you imagine now you're breathing, you've let go of the ancestral stuff, and we can keep working with that as well, what you've learned with Vida, And then we're going to deep dive into letting go of all the concepts, all the labels, and all the stories that you've been carting around. Probably like me, completely unwittingly, not knowing you were depressing your immune system and your life force because you're in this contracted. It's like you're continuously carrying a week's shopping around with you. So we're going to let all of that go, let all the bags go, and dive down deeply into the subconscious mind where all the programs are stored. Now, I don't know whether you have sugar addiction or carbohydrate addiction or wine addiction, but that's really common. And we can really look at letting go of old habits and filling them with new great habits. And again, creating a team. The more I'm doing retreats and the more I'm realising the power comes with a group. It's the community and how that group can then hook together and support each other through whatever it is you need to support each other through. So, yeah, we're going to be really moving into what you may know, what story you need to let go of. You may not, or you maybe be projecting, because that's what we do. We're either in the past ruminating over what's happened there, or we're projecting into a supposed future. And the relationships in our lives, because that's key. You've got your health, your wealth, and your relationships. And your relationships are not flowing and loving and respectful and honourable, then that affects everything. Obviously, it affects the workplace, it affects your ability to earn, and obviously it affects your health. And we know that, if you're in a toxic relationship, then and you're living with that every day, and you've maybe been browbeaten and maybe made to believe, and family can do this to you as well, make you feel that you're not good enough. There'll be somebody out there. But again, we're not looking at the victim perpetrator. We're like, why did we take things on? So in this fasting and in this work, we 100% take responsibility for everything that we have co-created in this body. And if you have had any serious disease, or if you're dealing with any disease and you would like to talk to me about whether this retreat would be helpful for you, just ping me a message. Absolutely happy to discuss it. So that's going to be our days: family constellations, a ton of breath work, and letting go, and really sharing each other's stories. Really interesting in our dance was, I'm not going to tell you what the stories are, it's very private obviously, but one person just shared this mental story, which then gave the others the courage to share theirs and how they felt within it. And it's very humbling, because I've had a pretty good life, to be honest, and I can't compare with some of the stuff that people have had to deal with. So it is really amazing to watch people articulate the darkness that they've been holding on to, how they felt and how they were as a child, and then feeling guilty about that, and it's really all that just unravelled. So it's a good opportunity, if you have anything that you've really never vocalised or verbalised, just get it out in a safe space. There'll be a lot of laughing, because for me it's got to be a bit fun and laughing at the stupid things that we do and the stupid things that we've held on to, but there may be some tears as well. Because when you do that amount of breath work and that letting go, and also if you've ever done family constellations, when you start to look back at the ancestors and where you've come from and what they did, regardless of labelling it good or bad, how we are here, and we give thanks for our life. And my friend Amy wrote a song called "Thank You for My Life." I'll put it in the underneath this live. Oh my God, it's just about, because very often our parents have not been capable maybe of doing the parenting, and then you come into the parent role, and your parent acts like a child, and and you're the fixer, you want to fix everything, and all the dynamics that go on in pretty much certainly all families that I know, and how we all go back into our place, in that I came first. You look forward to the next generation, but with respect, obviously, from the people that came before you. So really fascinating. It's a really, really unique retreat because you're going to get all that magic over the 4 days. And then obviously at that stage, there's going to be tons of food in the farm. We're just going to be eating the food from the land. That's what was so nice about Inner Dance, was I was just going out into the forest and picking up all the food. And so you're really, really connecting to the land in a way because you're ingesting the medicine that she's providing. And as I get more confident, obviously, because spending time with Claire, and really, because I'm still learning a lot of the plant stuff as well. And sometimes it can be hard for this old brain for things to stick. Excuse me. So not only did I get food poisoning, but then I got a chest and a sinus infection. So it's been great fun. However, I think I'm coming out the other side of it now. So I'm actually quite looking forward to getting home, going to see John Watt and Asim Malhotra and Dr. John Campbell. A classic grand on the Sunday night. Start making a plan of how we can help the people that have been kind of really left to rot, as John said to Rishi Sunak, and how we can really get on and help, and how we can use our phenomenal technology to help as many people as we can. So it's really, really exciting times. Thanks, Maria. I'm just seeing your comment now. Yeah, I'm definitely on the bounce, but it's interesting, isn't it, when the body goes through. I was so cocky because I sailed through the winter, and then I come here for this amazing holiday. But anyway, and it turns out I just had to shut up and lie down and let the body do what it needed to do. So yeah, try not to judge it. Anyway, so that's that. You can probably see I'm very excited about this retreat. I'm excited to do it myself. And Vida will be coming on. Vida's in a retreat in the Lake District right now. Vida and I will be coming on together to talk about people that want to combine the two, where you're doing the tantric and then the fasting. I think she's starting at 2:00 on the Friday. So it really would be, you'd be looking at taking a week, because you'd be from the Friday to the following Thursday if you wanted to join us for the whole week to really work on feeling a lot more joy and pleasure and lightness in your life. And you know, it was really great at Inner Dance because you're like, all these people took a week out, and it's quite intense. You know, there's 23 of us in Barmolach, and as you know, it's we can only sleep 18 in the cottages, with some people in the Sparavan, and I was in my space, and my friend Frankie was in a camper van. So, but really the power of that group and the willingness and the love, and you know, because it's, you know, it's not easy to be with people. We're so used to our own space now, but it was, what an incredible week it was of learning and of experiencing, and as I say, just being with all these amazing souls. And then we finished it off on the Sunday, went out sailing on Nicky's boat, and we just had a magical time. So I'm not promising we'll be able to do that after that next retreat. So I'm also doing a speaker event with Jennifer Main, my darling friend Jennifer, and another girl I've just met and been introduced to the work she's doing, Lynette. Phenomenal stuff that she's doing as well. And Emma Smiley, the gorgeous Emma. So we're doing a debate, a panel debate on the art of reinvention, which is really what we're talking about, letting go of the kind of 3D. I mean, people get annoyed when I say that, but I don't really know any better way to describe it. From the material world into the more energy world, how can we start to really, if we have got this phenomenal power of free will, how can we start to reinvent the way we're doing things? So that's on the Thursday, the 6th of June, I think. Thursday night. Classic Grand. I think there's a few tickets left if you want to come and meet Asim and Dr. John Campbell. That's in Glasgow a week tonight. I'm flying home early to go to that. And then obviously we've got the water fast, we've got the tantric weekend, and then we have Scotland's Wild Medicine late autumn retreat at the end of October. So, and then we've got goddess gatherings coming up. I've just got the venue booked, got the festivals for next year. So loads of cool stuff happening, and I better go and get on with writing this book because I know that I need to get a lot of it done before I leave here and life gets busy again. So have a wonderful Sunday. Rest up. I'm going to the beach now, obviously, to get into the sea. Is actually the sea's not that warm here. It's 20 degrees. It's funny. You see people going in like, oh, and because your skin's so hot, it does feel cold. So it's quite nice. You do get a wee bit of a freeze response. Slight exaggeration here, but anyway. Have a wonderful day, and I will chat to you all soon.